Georgie and Mandy's first marriage completes young Sheldon's transition to becoming a proper family sitcom by fully severing ties with The Big Bang Theory. Young Sheldon's cancellation leaves a big hole in network TV as its leading comedy, something that Chuck Lorre, Steve Holland, and Stephen Molaro's new project attempts to fill. While Sheldon's origin story set the bar high, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is poised to be a worthy replacement. Not only is the new show essentially a direct sequel to Young Sheldon, but many of its on- and off-screen talent were also involved in its predecessor. Ahead of its anticipated premiere, I had the privilege of screening the first 2 episodes of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, the 610 to Lubbock and New York nonsense. The outings spend their time establishing the new normal for Montana Jordan and Emily Osment's characters, as they live with the McAllisters, Jim, Will Sasso, Audrey, Rachel Bay Jones, and Connor Doogie Baldwin. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage cast will also see familiar faces from the Cooper family, such as Mary Zoe Perry, Missy Regan Revord, and Mima Annie Potts. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is unexpectedly emotional, despite the change in format. Like The Big Bang Theory, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is filmed in front of a live studio audience. Having followed both The Big Bang Theory and Young Sheldon, I was concerned about Georgie and Mandy's first marriage change in format. Instead of being a single-cam show, like its parent series, it transitions to a multi-cam series, which means it is filmed in front of a live audience. The Big Bang Theory had the same approach, and it just couldn't handle drama and emotional moments like Sheldon's origins did. So I was pleasantly surprised to see that Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is unexpectedly emotional. Don't get me wrong, it is still funny. Jordan and Osment have excellent chemistry, and Sasso is phenomenal as the McAllister patriarch who knows not to pick a fight with his wife. That said, the sitcom picks up just a couple of months after George's unexpected death. The Coopers are still reeling from the loss, which the new show handles so well. Georgie's scenes in particular are emotional, especially when he slows down and realizes that his dad is no longer around, and how that relates to him also being a father now. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage's biggest challenge is to explain the Coopers' absence. Mary, Mima, and Missy return in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage's first 2 episodes. In an ideal world, the Coopers would be series regulars in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage. It's great to see Georgie's family pop up in episodes 1 and 2, and as expected, they deliver some of the most memorable scenes in their outings. Hot's comedic timing as Mima in the episode, the 6:10 train to Lubbock, is particularly phenomenal. Somehow, she is even better, which I didn't think was possible, considering how great she already was in Young Sheldon. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage resurrects Georgie and Missy's dynamic, only this time, it's more real and heavy, as they both reel from the death of George. Meanwhile, Missy's return in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage episode 2 continues what Young Sheldon started with her and Georgie's relationship, but never fully realized. While Young Sheldon was technically about Sheldon, the show was able to endear his siblings, especially as they bonded over always being left out. With Sheldon now in California, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage resurrects Georgie and Missy's dynamic, only this time, it's more real and heavy, as they both reel from the death of George. As great as it is seeing the Coopers, it's also a reminder of the new show's biggest challenge moving forward. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage must justify not featuring Georgie's family as frequently as possible. He and Mandy only live across town, so the logistics shouldn't be an issue. Mary, Missy, and Mima are set to return in the special Thanksgiving episode of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, but that's it. For now, the challenge is to make sure the new ensemble can stand on its own without its predecessor. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage highlights how much the franchise has moved on from The Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang Theory universe moves on from Sheldon. 5 years after The Big Bang Theory ended, the franchise it started has officially moved on with Georgie and Mandy's first marriage. It's no secret that while Laura and Bill Prade's inaugural sitcom was a ratings hit and had some great performances, its brand of comedy was problematic, especially in its earliest seasons. The Big Bang Theory never really got the chance to fully redeem itself, and maybe the new Stewart spinoff can do that. That said, young Sheldon proved that Laura and his trusted writers can write better sitcoms. It feels like Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is the final form that young Sheldon could have been if it hadn't ended. The Young Sheldon finale was a masterclass in balancing comedy and drama, and despite the change in format and shift in storytelling focus, its sequel is able to continue this, at least in its first 2 episodes. Considering the pressure for it to deliver as it replaces one of the most beloved sitcoms of the last decade, it's safe to say that Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is off to a great start.